Yeah.
They fix your peppermint patty bangs. Is it peppermint patty?
No, it's just weird.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We're here.
I'm kind of speechless.
You don't have words?
I don't know if I have enough words. I'll probably run out of words, but
the world is going to come to an end. She doesn't have any words.
I'm kind of nervous because we're here by ourselves, Debbie. Nobody else is here like on Periscope saying, how are you, and talking to us. It's just
that's
like we're
okay.
by ourselves.
We have our little list over there. We got all of our yummy yummies around us. We will be fine. We're just going to take our time.
Okay.
Deep breath.
Okay. Zen breathing.
Oh, and I forgot to put on my shawl. See that?
Not ready. You're not ready.
Okay, well,
You're not ready.
I'm not going to fuss too much with this, but
okay,
it's important that I have it on.
You got to be ready.
Today's a big day.
It's a big day. Well, first of all, this is a big day because we've been talking about...
I hide my ends. I didn't do all my ends.
You did not do your ends. Debbie.
I know. Okay, whatever.
I could do with her. When I'm not here, she needs a babysitter.
It's
and I can't babysit her from Georgia.
But that's okay. I'm not going to complain.
Okay, so...
For those of us that don't know us, I guess we should...
Should we tell people who we are?
Yes. We're the Periscoping Sisters. I'm Debbie.
I'm Amy. I'm the younger.
No, you are not. Don't tell lies at the very beginning.
Okay, I'm the older. Just by 1 year. It's not a big deal.
And I'm Debbie S. Reese on Instagram, Debbie Reese on Ravelry.
And I'm Inked Indigo on Instagram.
She's the famous one.
And Indigo Amy on Ravelry. There is no such thing.
Oh, yes, there is.
But look how bright I am. I could stop traffic with this thing.
I know you can.
Okay, so we'll talk about all that. We have plenty of time because it's not like our Periscope.
Though, your head's getting cut off. There you go.
There.
Now I'm not like a little tiny pinhead and your big head in the front.
Isn't this so cool? Look at our beautiful backdrop. You see our backdrop?
I freed the stash.
We're at Debbie's house.
And some of it.
Some of your house? Some of your
stash.
Some of
my stash.
You freed your stash. And I live in Georgia. And Debbie's in California. And very rarely are we here together. So today is a very, very big day because it is Debbie's birthday.
Yes.
And it is the day that she's rolling out her very first pattern, the Wendy Sky Shawl. So we have a lot to talk about.
And it's the first day that we're podcasting.
It's our first podcast.
I know.
We have to think of a title.
What a great birthday present, don't you think, guys?
Should we think of it? We need to think of a title. I guess we do that later.
Title for the actual episode? Oh, yeah. We'll have to think about that like Amy Beth does during the podcast. And Chelsea and Sue do that too.
Happy birthday to us.
Us? It's not your birthday.
Yeah, but it's the birthday of our first podcast.
Okay. All right. I guess I can handle that.
Can you tell she's bossy?
I'll share my birthday with the podcast. How about that?
Yes, you must.
Okay.
It's a very, very important time. Very important day. So we do have even though we do kind of off the cuff, and we see kitties and little squirrels a lot of times, so we'll go off on tangents, so we have to keep each other pulled back some. So we do have some notes.
And this is probably going to be a long episode because we don't get together very often, and we're just going to take our time. You can pause and never come back, or you can come back and do it in sittings like a lot of people do, but if it ends up being really long, it's really long, and oh well, we're really sorry. Maybe the next ones we do, since we'll be in 2 locations, maybe they won't be as long.
Maybe not. They probably will be. And if you can see right over here, there's Wendy. I guess we should tell them a little bit about Wendy because Wendy has been such an inspiration. Wendy is our oldest sister. We were all 1 year apart. I know my parents were a little bit crazy.
A little bit
Tried to have a boy, and then for 3 years, every year, they had a girl, and my grandmother would say, Nancy gets pregnant every time Larry puts his pants on the bedpost. So I guess, did you know that about Nana?
Yes.
So I guess eventually they said, all right, enough's enough, we're not going to have any boys. So, but Wendy, on her 34th birthday, she had gone in for an elective hernia operation surgery, and there was a medication error, and she died. And she was 34. It was on her birthday. And Debbie says, wouldn't you know she'd have to die on her birthday? I'm so bad with dates. And I just have the same birthday, death date. I know the same date. So that was in July 19th. That was in 2001. So she is the inspiration behind all of our patterns. And we
We always talk about her, so just get used to it because it's going to happen.
Yeah,
And if
so don't think we're
we
crazy.
talk about her like she's here, that's fine too,
Yeah.
because we feel like she's still here. So,
Yeah. So our first segment after introductions is we're going to call it Life is Short. Life is too short. It really is too short. So I think this is a segment that we're going to talk about either current events, something that's going on maybe in our lives, or something funny that's happened. I have 3 kids and you have
2 boys.
So, and I have 2 teenage boys and a little 8-year-old girl. So there's always a funny story in our lives.
Yeah.
But-
a little bit of shenanigans.
More than a little.
More than a little.
A lot of shenanigans. But since I came to California, especially for Debbie's birthday, and to do our podcast, I had the opportunity to stay at my mom and dad's place. They live in this beautiful... I call it a retirement
community,
resort.
Yes. It's like a resort up
And
there.
Debbie and Mom were arguing about who has how many hours. Well, you have more hours with Amy, and you can't count Sunday, Mom, because
It's
Sunday.
my birthday.
Yeah, but she's old. She's going to die one day, so we have to make sure.
Whatever.
So Debbie's like, I don't have her on Sunday. She's getting on the plane on Sunday, so you can't count Sunday. I said, wait
That's right.
a minute. Wait a minute, everybody. So I was staying overnight last night because I had to go. I was asked by my mother, and when your mother asks you to do something, you comply. I was asked to go to water aerobics with her. So I said, no faces. So I said, Debbie, hey, let's have a sleepover. So she came down yesterday afternoon.
After work.
We went shopping. We went out to eat Italian. I don't know the last time just Mom and Dad and me and you went out. I don't think it's been like 20 years
dinner.
plus.
You see on my Instagram post that we
had so
both
much
of us,
fun.
we both posted a picture of
was
us
so
at dinner.
fun.
It was fun. It was really nice.
So
We had some pretty deep conversations at dinner.
I know we did.
I know. About raising kids and blended families and all kinds of good stuff. So
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then so we had a sleepover last night, and we didn't stay up all night, which I thought we would. But this morning we went to water aerobics. It wasn't bad. I thought
it wasn't
was
too
fun.
bad.
I
No,
thought
it was good.
fun.
It was good.
It was good. So we
We
ended
did
up having
have
a
a good
sleepover.
time.
But anyway, back
And
to
you needed to be there anyway to keep track of Mom
Well-
and yell at her when she needed to be yelled at.
my mother's got a wonky knee, and she really needs it replaced. So every time the little old ladies are kicking and bending their knees, I kept saying, Mom, don't
She's
do
a physical
that.
therapist, so she knows all about that and how she should move and not move. So.
She says, I always have to put ice on my knee after water aerobics because it hurts so bad. I'm thinking, well, why are you doing water aerobics? So anyway, that's neither here nor there. She's going to get it looked at. But my parents, just like a lot of old people,
Elderly.
they have a routine.
Yes.
It's 12 o'clock. It's time to eat lunch.
Yes.
You're not hungry.
Doesn't
it doesn't
matter.
matter. It's 12 o'clock. You need to eat lunch. And at 2 o'clock,
Nice, because Mom's probably going to watch this.
okay, yes, but this is, I would say this in front of her anyway.
Yes.
So 2 o'clock, it's time for Daddy to read. So Mom sits and knits, and my dad reads from his Kindle. And then, of course, at 3 o'clock, Dr. Phil comes on. So you got to stop reading by, no, I don't know if I got the times correct. So anyway, so they're reading the book Gone Girl. Everybody remember the movie and stuff? Okay, no spoilers or anything. Well, I'm sitting there knitting myself, and my dad is putting his own, I wouldn't say putting his own spin. He was reading the book.
Is he falling asleep at the
No,
same time?
no, he wasn't falling asleep. He was making
I haven't
sure.
heard this story, so I'm hearing it for the first time.
I told her I wasn't going to tell her what happened. So he was reading the book and making sure it was G-rated. Now, I know these curse words were spelled out. So every time something came up, he
would
said...
pause and replace it with...
No, he wouldn't replace it. He'd just say, F this or something. You know, everybody knows kind of what that is. But he never said the word, which was okay. And I'm thinking, I'm sure
all right.
it's
Sure. He didn't
like
feel
written in
comfortable.
there. No, that was fun. So then he started getting a little bit tired, I guess, of reading after about an hour. And Mom says, Larry, why don't you... It's okay. Why don't you... You're getting tired. And, of course, we're all like, what's going to happen next? What about the next chapter? What's going to happen next?
It's time for Dr. Phil. Put it away.
Yeah, but then they decided, well, Daddy was going to read a little bit longer, so they're going to record Dr. Phil, so we didn't feel like we had to hurry up and watch Dr. Phil.
Okay.
And then I said, well, why don't you let me read?
You were dropping the F-bomb.
No, I wasn't. I didn't. I followed suit. I did what
Okay,
Daddy did.
good.
So, and my
Proud
dad's
of
like,
you.
are you sure? I said, yeah, let me read. The only sex scene in the entire book
And you
happened on my reading watch. I was like, oh my gosh.
You should have said to put on Dr. Phil.
Well, and I was like, I stopped and
Meanwhile,
paused
Mom's
for a
over
minute.
there like,
She's knitting and Dad's laying back in his chair. I'm thinking, I have never, ever. And so, I'm a professional person. I mean, I talk about things like this with my patients, and I see things that most normal people wouldn't see.
You disengaged from the
Okay,
personal.
so I say you just, professional thinking about, okay, but I'm sitting here with my parents reading this book. So I kind of paused, and Mom looks up from her knitting, and she's like, what do you do? And I said, I'm scanning the next paragraph to see how I can make it G-rated. And my father looks up.
And then you just go, sexy scene, flip, flip, flip. Okay, here we go again.
So Dad looks up and he says, you wanted to read, so read. Oh my gosh.
He made you read it?
He made me read it. I mean, I didn't read it. I didn't read when they were describing some of the body parts. I really did. I just kind of, and they got close, and she said, kiss me. I mean, I had to
get embarrassed to sit here thinking about that.
You
better
guys,
you than me, Aim.
I am never going to offer to read again unless it's the Bible.
That's what they're doing in there all afternoon. Instead
They're
of doing the real thing, they're reading sexy books on each other.
They not. But I'm thinking, Gone Girl, how?
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh,
that's
Mom and
appropriate.
Dad, you're watching this. I know you are. Why did you make Amy read that?
She didn't make
That
me.
was
They didn't
me,
I
Dad.
practically twisted their arm to let me read. Of course, they didn't know that there was going to be one sex scene in the whole book, and it was going to be.
He put you to it, though. He made you continue, just like parents do.
Like,
you ask for it.
Let's work through it. You wanted to do it. Let's go.
Oh God, Amy, that's funny.
I mean, I think I probably could have read it without any problem if I was just reading to my dad, or if I was just reading to my mom.
Yeah, one or the other.
But
the fact
reading
that
to
they
the
were-
audience. Y'all, come on.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
so anyway, that's our segment of Life is Short. Is there anything else you need to add other than say, don't ever do that again?
Well, the only thing that's going on with me is tomorrow night, my 16-year-old son is going to a formal with the first girl that he really likes, who likes him back. She goes to a different high school, and so he asked me while he was at school if I would help him order the corsage and get it figured out so that he would have it ready. So that was sweet. So you may see a post on Instagram of my son with his real first little girlfriend, which is kind of exciting.
You gotta watch those little girls.
I'm
They're not as innocent as they appear.
This one, according to the neighbor across the street, she says this girl would capture a fly to take it outside, and you will never get her to say a bad word about anybody. And she's like, she's like just like James Jr. She said she's just like James Jr.
Tell him a story about when he was reading
Oh my gosh,
something.
I shouldn't embarrass him like that. He's not going to watch this. Okay.
It's not embarrassing. It's a very wonderful trait
so
about him.
he has determined, I guess, internally that he's not going to curse, and he's just not a person that's going to curse, and he has this strict rule for himself. So a year or two ago, we were reading through a textbook for, I think it was AP History, and there was a town, and he was reading to me, and we were taking turns because it was the very beginning of the semester, and he was struggling with getting the meaning of the content. So we were reading back and forth. So he got to the name of this town. He kind of skipped over it, and I said, well, what is that word? Because I didn't know where it was. And he says, well, it's the name of a place, but I'm not going to say it out loud. I said, why? He says, well, it has a curse word in it.
Voldemort. Oh,
No,
don't say it out loud. Harry Potter's going to come.
I don't know what. Yeah, the word. The name
like,
that
don't
won't be
just-
spoken.
shh, don't say the word.
No, it was a place, and it had the word hell in the middle of the word, and he didn't want to say it out loud because it had a bad word in it. And he was probably 15, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you kidding?
He doesn't need to hang out with my children.
So he's kind of, I won't say square because he's not square. He's a very well-rounded kid. He's very handsome, and he's very popular and athletic and all those things. But he has this internal measuring stick. I think that's a little bit more strict than most kids his age.
My kids don't have a stick. There's no such thing as measuring in our house when you talk about that.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so now we're going to talk about group news. A lot of you may or may not know, Debbie and I also Periscope, and we're going to continue to Periscope because that is just like the bread and butter of
That's where we
the knitting
got where we
community.
started,
Yes.
and we feel really connected when we do that, and
So,
that's really fun for us.
In
so.
Ravelry, there is if you go to the groups and look Periscoping Sisters, that's where you're going to find our Ravelry group. So, on our group news, should we explain what Gabacorn is?
Yeah, well, I think maybe some of our viewers already have seen it. Maybe there's a hashtag on Instagram, Traveling Fiber Unicorn, and Andre Sue Knits, Andy's daughter,
Abigail
needle felted us a beautiful unicorn.
cream-colored
She's
unicorn.
probably about that big. And Amy and I were bouncing around ideas of like, what could we do? We want to do something that would be, and we just, between the two of us, as I was driving home from work one day, we said, well, how about this? And we should have him do this. And we just, this whole thing just got born where...
right before the new year.
Right before the new year, right around Christmas time, after Christmas. Abigail created this unicorn for us. And she travels around the world based on the sign-up thread in our group thread and in our Ravelry group. And when you get Gabicorn, you tie on her mane or on her tail a piece of your favorite yarn. And there's a little book that accompanies her, and you can write your name and your Instagram information and what you made with the yarn, why it's special, and all the instructions are in there. So then the next person on the list in the sign-up thread is the person that you would send Gabicorn to. And you would instant message them on Ravelry so you can get their address. And she's going to travel all around. And when you get her, obviously you need to post a picture on Instagram so you can see where she's at. And she's going to have all these crazy travels.
And she's in California right now.
She
funny
is.
enough. Cher
lives in Northern California.
Has her right now. And she's going to Debby Lindmick, who is in Texas, do you say?
Texas, I think, yeah.
She's going there next.
So that's where she's headed. You can watch her travels.
Yeah.
Go on Instagram and do the hashtag Traveling Fiber Unicorn.
And Debbie and I are going to Rhinebeck this year. Every other year we do a sisters big holiday where we just go somewhere together, and we're going to Rhinebeck this year. So I put at the beginning of the book, the beginning of mid-September, whoever has Gabicorn needs to send Gabicorn back to me, because we're going to take her to Rhinebeck. So it's going to be exciting. But once we get done Rhinebeck, I'll make sure I know where she goes next.
Yeah.
That's right. So we'll send her back out. So, and we're thinking maybe next January having another something, do the same thing.
Yeah, well, there's so many people signed up in the thread. I don't know. She's still going to be going.
60 some odd people signed up. So
yeah.
It'll take a little while. So, yeah. So we're going to talk about the knit-alongs that we're going to be participating in.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of knit-alongs going on right now. As most of you may know, because you're podcast watchers, the Grocery Girls, Tracy and Jody, are doing a 3-color cashmere shawl knit along.
I love them. They're so much fun.
They are hilarious.
It's like funny they can be part of our family.
I know. And I had already been corresponding and messaging, not messaging necessarily, but commenting.
And tell who Jody is.
Yeah, Jody is Mrs. Brown's Bags, of course.
Everybody knows her.
Everybody knows her. And
Tracy is just Tracy.
Tracy and I, we would tag, and we would always talk about, I just noticed how much of sister love they had with each other. And so
much more than we have. For sure.
They just showed a lot better. We're a little bit more, I don't know. Anyway, so Tracy and I had corresponded quite a bit way before they did their podcast. So when they said they were doing a podcast, I was just like, yay! Like everybody that knows them, because they're so sweet.
Yeah.
And so we just felt a real connection with them because we're sisters, and
but they live around the corner from each other.
That's
we don't.
one
we're
thing
like 2,000
I'm
miles
so
apart.
envious of the two of them, is they have each other close all the time. But that's okay. We talk on the phone quite a bit, and we see each other as often as we can. So
so we're going to do the Hohe Locatelli, the 3-color cashmere.
You want to get your
shawl.
colors?
Yes.
So my colors are all from Vicky from Berenwolle, and I have 2 barefoot sock colorways, and then one of the colors is her Baron Fluff. So these are the colors, and I've posted on Instagram. I think you guys have seen them before. It's like a really pretty deep purpley red with blue and some of that mauvey gray, and then
hold it up a little closer, maybe, since we're not using the other. Ooh, that's pretty. And this is kind of a like a pink tonal,
grayish pink tonal, yeah. And then this one even has like speckles of this color in this skein, which is really cool.
That's gonna be pretty.
So these 2 are gonna stripe, and then this is gonna be the band of the bigger band of color.
Pretty. And you can see that's so
me,
Debbie.
Isn't it so me?
Debbie is an engineer. She's a letter of the law. She's
not all the time.
Sometimes. Me? Okay, so you'll kind of get to know me.
Look at what she's wearing.
Okay,
can you
look
tell?
at my colors?
You look at her hair. It matches your hair.
Okay. If you guys have not followed Chili Knits, that's
backwards.
Connie.
It's backwards.
It's backwards. How are they going to read it? Forget it.
Sorry,
Forget it.
Tracy. And
No,
Jody,
we've
we
already
had to do that.
And,
We just like.
and you know what? When I did my first Periscope, I was holding stuff up. I'm like, why is it backwards? And everybody's writing comments. You did. Wait a minute. I'm going to use Jody's word. You doorknob. It's not backwards. It's fine for us.
It's straightwards. It's forwards.
You're just dying. So anyway, Connie lives in Chile. She is dyeing yarn. Oh my gosh. Look at these, you guys.
Are they not gorgeous? They are just to die for.
Look at that little progress keeper.
Holy cow. I gotta flip it around.
I know, I'm trying to.
What is that?
Oh, an extra finger. Wait a minute.
Oh, my nose is running.
You snotty? It's a little hat. How cute is that?
Use your foot and pull it back. She dropped it on the floor.
Like Tracy goes, edit. Oh no, was it Chelsea? Chelsea and Sue, edit, edit, edit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like Chelsea and Sue say, if y'all could just see how we got this precarious thing set up, you'd be like,
look at these beautiful colors. Aren't they? Oh my gosh.
It's backwards.
Please don't start.
Tracy. I'm sorry.
Please don't do that. See how mean she is? She's very, very mean. I try to tell her, even though I'm the older sister, she doesn't listen. See, look how beautiful these colors are. Aren't they gorgeous? Anyway. Okay, so we're going to be doing that.
So tell them, what are you going to stripe and what's going to be the...
What did we decide? This is going to be the main color, and these two were going to be stripe. The stripe.
Yes, I think that's what you decided.
And this is going to be the big color.
I love these. Amy, look. Didn't I just
know.
pull that out? Look at that. I love that.
There's... Debbie and I are on the same brainwave a lot of times, and we'll talk more about that. I don't know if Jody and Tracy are, but we think so.
I think they are.
Alike.
Yes.
Really spooky, spooky kind of alike, you know. Okay, so we're going to be doing that, and I wanted to have. I was hoping I'd get my yarns before I left for the trip because I wanted to knit on the plane.
Can I take this off now?
No, we're not done talking about that. That's at the end.
I'm going to bring it back. I'm too hot. It's almost like 70 degrees outside.
I know, but when people watch this who are in Canada and it's snowing, they don't know it's hot here.
It's hot.
Oh, it's not that hot.
Hot enough.
So anyway,
that thing is warm.
But I wanted to.
Okay,
yeah, you can't use that much here because you get too hot.
I know.
So I said I want my colors. She says, "Let me send them to California because I don't want you to miss. You can knit on them on your way home." So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to start.
Skein them up. I mean,
that's right. We got to wind them up.
But
I forgot to show Mom how to do it. Anyway. My mother's so funny. Okay, so we're going to talk about, in our group news, we're going to talk about our giveaways because the Because I Love You wrap, my first design.
Wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's done.
It was done.
That was so successful, Amy. I am so proud of you.
Now, I did not knit this one. This was my mother's first one or second one she did. She's already done 4, you guys.
I think it was the second one because she didn't have the yarn yet.
This is Vicky Baron-Vula.
Isn't that gorgeous?
This is one of the colors she dyed. There's 10 color combinations for my Because I Love You wrap. And she did such an incredible job, and she's gotten so many compliments on this.
Here,
isn't that just absolutely stunning?
Pull it back.
Dun, da, da.
Isn't that beautiful?
Peer over. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so that was finished February 29th, and... You know, knitters, just leave it up to them for not following directions at all.
You need to get off of that. You're kind of a newcomer to the game, and there's been a pattern, right? And you are a non-conformist. You always come up with some new and crazy thing, and you just got to give people some time to get to know that that's the way you are.
But it's done. It's finished, and there was only a couple people that did.
But that's okay. They're the lucky ones because they followed directions.
Yes, they did. Okay, so when we decided we were going to have 2 giveaways.
Give me this one. You're going to do this one first?
Yep. We were going to do one in the chatter thread, one in the FO thread, and what we were going to give away is Baron-Vula, Simple Sock. Please do not start. You're going to make me pee my pants. No, it's not backwards. This is the foraging.
Poor Tracy's going to feel like such a...
She's never going to watch us, and she's going to actually talk about us and tell people not to watch us because you're very mean. And Debbie made a beautiful matching project bag that matches matchy. Isn't that beautiful? It's very, very big. Probably because it's telling us we're going to run out of words. And you don't even have your thing plugged in. Are we going to run out of...
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Never prepared.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So the rules for winning... I didn't just want to do a random number generator because everybody does that. Why do what everybody else does? Why don't you do something different? So I did. And nobody followed the rules. So the rules were, post a picture. I was going to give a prize for the funniest picture and for the most creative picture. I had very few of either. It's not funny, but forget it. But I did pick, and that would have made me have to choose. So I did.
We did the random number generator for
the chatter
thread, and Amy picked the winner for the finished object,
Okay.
which I thought was a good compromise.
So the person who wins
job.
foraging, thank you very much, because I need to be patted now and then.
And she did do the random number. Did you want to pull it up, the picture on your phone, and show them?
We're going to tell them about the one I picked, which is this one.
No, this isn't the one you picked.
Yes, it's the one I picked.
No, it's not.
Look at our notes. Do I have to fight with you? Oh, I did. I am wrong. Okay, never mind. Just never mind that part.
Mark this in history.
I'll say I'm wrong.
Don't you argue with me.
Why not? I can.
Okay.
I'm older.
This was from the chatter thread. Is that right?
Okay. That is from the chatter thread.
And
that
this
was
is
the
the
random
random
number generator.
Okay, so we did it. And she's going to show you real quick because she's got it on the text. And you're making me nervous now that my phone's going to run out of battery.
You should feel worried.
Okay, well, whatever. If we just cut out all of a sudden, you'll know why, and we'll just have to come back.
Okay. So I put in the numbers. Can you see? And it's not backwards.
Is it going to show up?
Oh, it's not. People have this issue.
The grand white screen.
It is on there. It was number 130. And the person who wins
is Lily
Lane Bag Company.
Lily
Lane Bag Co. We'll put it down here.
Catherine.
So,
I hope congratulations,
Catherine.
I'm not sure we know how to put it down there, but we'll try.
We'll figure it out.
We'll message you.
Okay. We'll let you know you won because, that all
Yay.
didn't work out good. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, so
The clapping people sound effect.
Yay! Okay, in circles. Okay, so the finished object, I chose the winner. You guys, I can't speak more about this chick. She is
awesome.
She is so cool.
And she's just as creative as you, as far as I'm concerned, with what she did.
Well, her name is Vicky, and it's Devixta, right? Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, she is
I don't know how to
getting
say it.
Candy Shop and Bear and Fluff. And this gorgeous bag that Debbie made. Congratulations. Okay,
Go on the finished object thread, guys, and see her picture.
We gotta go coffee.
I see her pictures.
We gotta do coffee. Yay! Okay, wonderful. And let me tell you, she had pictures of her wrap in her bathroom, on her Swift, all over the house. It was really cute. And just a couple days ago, she made Because I Love You socks.
Go on her feed. It's
Socks.
DAVIKSTA. Davixta.
She made Because I Love You socks.
In the
So
leftover
fun.
yarn. I'm surprised she had enough.
I'm surprised she
to
had
make
enough too.
Two almost full, like pretty mid-calf.
So
socks.
cool. I mean,
Way
so
cool.
cool. Way
Very
cool.
cool.
So she gets the other prize.
Okay.
So anyway, okay, so that's our giveaways. And so the next section we're going to talk about, we call it If There Was No Capital W. Does everybody know what a capital W stands for?
That place you go for most of your life. That
Let's
you really
spell
would
it because we
rather not
really
be there.
shouldn't say it. WORK. Don't say the
Whatever.
word. Whatever.
The capital W. We don't even say the word. We try not to say it because it's just not good.
What would happen if there was no capital W? This section we talk about all of the dreamy things that we'd be doing if there was no capital W.
Right.
So what would you be doing?
I'd be working on my.
But you said the W word.
No, I'd be knitting.
You'd be knitting
on my Citadel because I'd have a lot of quiet time where it was just me and I could focus on that and I'd be able to do that. Let's see what else. I'd probably be watching more podcasts.
I'd certainly be watching more podcasts because
Yes.
Debbie's always telling me that there's stuff
Because
going on
they
and I never
inspire me
notice.
and it really helps to, it's fun to be connected with other like-minded people and you see and get exposed to so many new yarn dyers and companies and patterns that you hear about on there that you see on Instagram and on podcasts, just amazing. And so I know Maria from Stitched in Sweden, she calls it her dream knitting, when she's sitting in class and she can't be knitting on something, or she knows she doesn't have enough time to actually make the object, but in her mind she's making it. She's picking the yarn and she's making it. So we call it our virtual knitting. Virtual knitting.
I think I'd probably be doing the same thing. I'd be
making my
podcasts.
therapy shawl.
Yeah.
I'd be making the one that I bought this yarn for. What is that?
Caledonia?
No, the I'm not gonna be able to think of it. The Drachenfels shawl. I'd be working on our design.
You'd be taking your Namenda for memory. That's a pill.
Namenda?
Namenda. It's for Alzheimer's.
Oh, okay, thanks. She's the mean one. Yeah.
I'm not.
Just remember that.
I have to be a little mean.
What would you do if there was no such thing as a capital W?
Well, I would be watching podcasts and periscopes and probably be making a design book of all these things that I'm designing, and I just can't.
You almost have one now.
I've got
that
several.
graph paper thing you got pages and pages of all kinds of copy.
Well, there's a lot of people that would say, they've got computer programs for that. Like, what's wrong with graph paper and a pencil? People did it like that in the Stone Age, so it's fine. So I have my graph paper.
It's not like you're running a business like that, like some company that we went to yesterday, where she had to look up. Oh my gosh, I stood there. She had this huge, I kid you not, Rolodex with all the yarns and the prices on them. No computer in the store to be found anywhere.
I'm surprised she didn't take our card like the old gas station. Sign here, please, and pulled out the card.
I think she did have at least an electronic swiper.
She did, because she put our thing in it.
But she hand wrote out the receipt, what it was.
I can't believe that. Who does that
They
stuff?
were nice there. If you guys watched our Periscope, you heard us trash talking them. We're not going to say the name on a scope on a podcast that's going to go out and be out maybe for real. Periscope goes away because we're not like that. We're not going to. But they were very nice and they were helpful this time, and they put up with our craziness.
They
when
laughed
we were
at
in
our
there.
jokes and stuff.
I know.
And my father was
much more personable.
My mother had to say in the car. She doesn't like the place. So my father went in and he had a little basket because we were putting things in, and he was
Taking
walking
things out.
around with the basket, and I'd be
He
like,
was
"Where's
our
that?"
chauffeur yesterday.
And she said something to him at the end. Like,
Something mean?
No, yeah, something mean about us. Like, how do you tolerate all the boy? They're energetic. I'm thinking, you don't even know, woman. And he's just like, who are you telling?
And we were toned down in there. Believe me, we were.
Yeah, because there was other people in there, and you just anyway. That was fun. But anyway, we got it all. We got it all. Okay, so that's what we'd be doing.
See, is there anything else in there?
So all of the people that we would be watching in the podcast, you guys, there are so many podcasts, but you're just like going out and shopping. Like, you have your favorite set of jeans, you've got your favorite shoes. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of places to shop, I'm sure, around anybody, but you have your go-to stores.
And when a new one pops up, you make sure you watch that one before you watch the others that are maybe in your queue. And we have just a couple people that we wanted to give shout outs to.
I was talking about shopping for jeans.
But you were talking about, you were getting to the podcast.
Are you hurrying me?
No.
I was not finished with my analogy.
Okay, so finish.
So you have your go-to places. I saw you roll your eyes at me. Duct tape. Mm-hmm. So everybody has their own go-to podcast. Okay, the segue has been made. Now you may talk.
I'm so glad I have your permission.
I'm sitting to the right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To the left.
But you know what? You're to my right, but when they watch us, you're going to be on the left. You realize that, right? Because they're going to be like from over there looking this way. That's another thing we found out when we
Not that our one side is better than another, but when we practiced and watched it back, I'm like, how did I get on that side? She said, because everything is swept around. Anyway, the things you learn when you do this.
Okay, so the people that are
who's
my go-to person? Obviously, Danny. I always watch Danny.
Of course.
Andy. Always watch Andy comes up, and I watch Andy. Andre Sunitz. She changed her entry, I think, didn't she?
I love that. I'm just like, if I ever heard that out somewhere else, I'd be like,
someone else is using that now.
Didn't the Grocery Girls
Yes,
use
the
that?
Grocery Girls. It must be one of the tracks. We're going to have to find it and put
Did
it
you
on
guys
our...
steal that from Andy? I hope you called her and asked her permission for that.
Okay.
So, of course, the Grocery Girls.
Grocery Girls, of course.
We've got to watch that. I mean, they're just like our favorites, you know.
And we have...
Lone
Jenny from Lone Larch Designs. And, of course, Sue and Chelsea from Legacy Knits. And, of course, Eric, Sticks Plus Wine. I think we all watch the same ones. Everybody watches the same ones.
Don't assume that. There may be somebody
If
saying,
you have time.
write it down. What do you mean, Lone Larch? Who's Eric? If you don't
You're
know
right,
Eric,
that's
you are
true.
so behind the time.
You are a little bit behind the times. But I like the segments of those podcasters that talk about a new podcast to me.
Yes.
Danny does it. I think some of the others that I watch.
Sue and Chelsea do it now
Sue
and
and
then.
Chelsea do it now and then.
And Grocery Girls here. Fangirl.
Yeah.
That's our fangirl segment.
I love
you guys
that.
have got to go watch them. They're so fun. I love it.
you know, there are others. There are definitely others. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But I do watch Maria Stitched in Sweden. I know there's people we're missing.
I'm sure. And the girl, and Davitska,
We're going to
Vicky.
start watching Vicky.
She's got.
I started watching her. I think I'm the one that told you about her.
No, you didn't. I
podcast.
found it myself.
Nope.
Nope. You didn't tell me about her. No, she said she's. I found it. I messaged her because we were talking about something. Do we have to fight now?
Okay, no.
We're not going to fight yet. We still have plenty of time. It's only 35 minutes in, so we got plenty of time to pull up the Dukes. Okay, so anyway, so we just
What
wanted
do
to.
you watch that's not on that list already? Anybody else?
I mean, I watched Laura from the Fawn Knits.
Yes,
I mean,
of
we love
course.
Laura. I mean, you gotta watch Laura.
And Pin Feathers and
That one?
Pin Feathers and Pearls.
I've
with
never-
Candace.
I've
you
never
have to
watched that
see
one.
her.
See,
She's
because
so
of the
sweet. And
W
her
word.
her little bird that like climbs
Oh,
around
the-
on the thing
oh,
behind the
that's-
scare
that's
Sue.
the-
But
That's
Sue
the one
doesn't
that's just like, I'll come visit,
like,
but you gotta get rid of that bird.
Put that bird in the cage.
She's afraid of birds. What's the deal? She's got a little parakeet. What is it? A little
It's
parrot?
a little, yeah, I think it's like yours. It's green with like little red, yellow.
Like
head.
a cockatiel.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it talk?
Not on the podcast so far, not that I know of, but he heard the little door, she leaves it open, and he climbs out of his cage, and he stands up on
Isn't
the top.
that distracting? Can you listen to her and
No,
watch
he's
it?
just kind of off to the side. It's cute. And she's also got a little hamster, a little furry hamster. Sometimes she posts little videos of
really?
him on her Instagram. It's cute. Oh my gosh, she gave him a fortune cookie that was about half the
hamster?
size of his body.
He's sticking his
And
mouth?
he was like carrying it around. He didn't know what to do with it. And he's like, what do I do with this huge?
That you're gonna say put it in his mouth.
He couldn't fit it in
Because
his
he's
mouth.
too big. That's funny.
Anyway, those are the
Okay,
ones.
so like most podcasts, we have WIPs, our works in progress, and our FOs, our finished objects.
I have
now-
one little finished object. I don't have anything on the needles except for my Citadel. I don't have
And
socks.
And I don't have socks either.
Well, that's one thing that I could say was my dream knitting that's coming up. Anna Freiberg, Alpaca Anna, some of you may know. She just released a pattern called Soul Angelica, I think it is. And I love the story
How do you say
behind
that
it.
again?
Don't make me say it again.
Say it again. Come on.
No.
Say it again. Debbie, say it again.
It's a pattern for socks. And I'm not sure, I'm not set on these colors, but it's a pattern for socks that is colorwork socks. And the basis is a heroine in one of this big book series that she loves and reads. And it's a very strong female character that like kicks, you know what?
What do they kick?
A bad word that starts with A and ends with a $sign.
Bootay.
Bootay.
It doesn't start with an A though. Bootay.
No.
Okay. So anyway. So
that's
that's what you're going to use for hers.
I'm thinking about it.
I think
I don't
those are
know.
great.
Look,
I think
she
those are
does she did hers with gray and yellow, and so I'm just giving it a
High
little bit
contrast, I'm sure, is something
Yeah.
that would be perfect. With
and they're
that.
really pretty. The top edge has like this really pretty scallop. You do the yellow at the top, and then the gray, and then
And on the
it
foot
has on the
is
foot is color
color
work.
work.
It's really cool.
It's a pair of
So
socks
that's
that you
called Soul
never want to
Angelica.
put on a pair of shoes. You could
So
not.
that and the 3-color cashmere shawl.
Well, and of course, Debbie's working on the Citadel too, and I'm working on the Citadel.
Oh my gosh, and you've gotten so far. Look at how good that looks.
Yeah, we're not going to show the back, but I will show the back.
And we're not going to look at this part right here.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I've got. This is going to be our Rhinebeck sweater. I am going to do a little bit of modifications, even though I've already done some modifications without realizing it. And I wasn't going to rip it out. So,
No.
But I'm going to put a hood on mine, and I'm not going to make mine so long. It's going to just come sort of to my waistband. So hopefully I'll have enough for hood. But we're using the Quince & Co. I know people talk about their needles.
We
so
need to at least put
this
pictures
Quince
in the
& Co.
chatter
Lark.
thread for Laura's Quince & Co. along, because there's no way we're going to finish in time to put anything in the finished objects thread.
Oh, for the Quince & Co.
yeah,
along?
for the Quince & Co. I haven't
Yeah.
posted any pictures of mine, but I need to do that.
So I've got that because I don't have a lot of things that I work on or finish because I am constantly designing. So
She sees a squirrel and has to go follow the squirrel.
I do. Squirrels are very, very nice unless
Can
they're
I
in
show
your
that?
attic.
Do you have any more works in progress?
No. And we don't have any finished
What about
objects.
that
Other than...
over there?
Well, I'm going to talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, finished objects. I finished last night.
I love that.
My
so beautiful.
pink February block.
And tell them what you're doing. Now, you're doing month to month.
Monthly blocks like Sue Stokes and the
Here's
K
January.
Of the Bryony Bears. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to use this yarn. If I can, I bet you pull it out.
Oh my gosh, don't do that.
Down. That yarn, that cream yarn right there is going to be on the blocks, the border. And I'm trying to decide, see how I do like Miss Lavelli. You haven't seen her either, KT from Inside Number 23. She does her blocks the same way.
You don't have to tell everybody that I haven't seen her yet.
At least I'm being nicer than Jody was to Tracy on their last podcast.
Girls,
I don't think you were happy. Okay, so that right there is the same way that KT does hers. I do the purl on the wrong side to get that little...
The way you do it with everything. Oh, no, did you do it different now than your sock?
No, it's the same way, but it's different from the way a lot of people...
Okay,
so I'm trying to decide if I want to do like that.
You're doing a checkerboard, right?
Right? Or if I want to make all the little lines go the same direction.
Yeah, but this is cute, Debbie, even though the lines are in the same direction because you don't have a dark...
It continues the checkerboard?
Yes, it continues the checkerboard.
But this way, if you do it this way, then it makes like a quilt. See how this is going to be like a white diamond that ends up, or a lighter diamond that comes up and makes a square?
Well,
so I don't know. I haven't decided. They're not going to be right next to each other. There's going to be space. So
I love them.
I'm done with February, and it's only March 4th.
Okay, so now you need greens.
I need March.
For March.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of greens.
You have to ask my mother, because my mother only knits with green.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Well, she used neon before, so.
Yeah. Oh, my other finished object is my socks. You see my socks right here? I showed a picture on Instagram. I got like 122 likes on those socks.
They're very dirty because you wore them for 2 days.
They're kind of slouchy because I had them on my feet.
She had them on her feet. She didn't wear them. She just had them on her feet. She was just dangling them in the air.
Am I supposed to put up with this one?
Okay, so we're going to move on along. Okay, so, you know when people talk about stash enhancement, like the grocery girls talk about retail therapy, we've decided we're going to decide what we're going to talk about. We're going to call it.
Go ahead.
Skeins in the closet. Because everybody has skeins in the closet that nobody talks about. Just like those skeletons.
Mom had a good one, though. Mom said, don't tell my husband.
This is the segment that's called Don't Tell My Husband.
Don't Tell My Husband. Yeah, and that reminds me of Jules with Diary of a Yarn Snob.
Oh, yeah.
She talks about how she...
Oh, that's another one. Oh, my gosh, we love her.
Forget her.
Diary of a Yarn Snob.
I don't know. Anyway.
See, but the thing about it, like Tracy, I don't know about Jody's husband, but Tracy's husband's like my husband. They are such enablers. I mean, they could push drugs on anybody. And yarn. I'd say, okay, I'm going into the yarn shop. He says, well, do you have your purse? Well, I thought I'd leave my purse. You know you need your purse. You know they're going to call out to you those yarn. You're going to have to buy something. He
doesn't say that.
Yes, he does. Really? You ask him. He said that to me one time. I said, he's going to be disappointed.
Ronnie.
He's my love.
He's going to watch us.
I know he might. Love you.
Okay.
I'll find a book to read to you and get you off. I'm bothered.
Oh, God, I don't need that visual.
I should make Mom and Dad come over and read us a book like that. That was way...
Oh, you should put Dad. Next time Dad visits you, if he ever comes to visit you,
say,
find a book.
Would you read?
And look, I just happened to be at this part of the book. I can read it to you and Ronnie and see if he would.
That's horrible. You would be horrible.
Bad.
Okay, so skeins in the closet. We're going to talk about skeins in the closet. Okay, so what are you going to show?
Oh, my birthday gifts.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Her birthday was today.
It is today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Don't go too fast. You're making me sick. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Okay,
it really is her birthday. So, we couldn't wait till the day because we had water aerobics and everything to do. So, we did her birthday last night. So, I brought all this stuff from Georgia. Don't bring it up yet. Wait. Except there was one thing that didn't come.
Oh. I'm so glad I didn't buy it for myself, because that's what I thought was going to happen.
So last week, way back in the past, Debbie started telling me about, because she learned it from Jody.
I saw it on the Grocery Girls. I've seen it a couple times.
A sock
but that
ruler.
Was the most, yeah,
you guys know what a sock ruler is? I said, I'll get that for her. And I'll just, it's soon. I mean, I got a week until I go to California. Didn't come.
That's okay.
Boston
it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, so I'll just have to send it to her.
When you get home. You better send it to me.
You knit more socks than me, so that is something I won't Indian give. You can have that.
Okay, so now can I show? Oh, no, you're going to do both at the same time?
No, you can show. Or let me get it out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm always scheming. I'm always planning, and I got that from my mother, and it really is a good thing. And I said,
my peppermint patty bangs. Do they look okay?
yeah, they look pretty.
Okay.
Pull it on that side. Okay, so anyway, if anybody has not heard of, I'm sure you have, Art by Anna. She does all of these incredibly beautiful gradient cakes. Oh, they're gorgeous. So I said, I want to get a custom colorway done by her. I've never bought any gradients. And I decided to use the 3 colors of us 3 girls. Debbie's colors were always pink. Mine were always lavender. Wendy's were always turquoise. So she
Our
made...
rooms, when we grew up, we were allowed to pick the colors of our rooms.
Lavender, carpet, lavender, walls. I mean, all of ours. And that's where
Wendy
our
had
colors. Teal and turquoise, and Debbie had pinks. So I had her dye up, and she dyed up like 4 or 5, and she let me choose. And then when I brought them in Debbie's birthday gift, I let her choose which one she wanted so I could have the other. You ready to bring them up?
Yeah. Aren't they pretty?
Look!
We didn't even practice that.
Isn't that scrumptious?
And look at how they're in the right order, though. This is me, I'm the youngest, and then Amy's the middle child, and Wendy's the oldest. She was the first one. And then
I
this
really
one
love this
one
one.
goes in and out because Wendy's in the middle of me and Amy on the outside, which is kind of cool, too.
And this is upside down.
Okay.
So, Art by Anna. Oh my God, it's
Nova
backwards.
Scotia.
I couldn't help myself.
You're so mean.
I'm such a doorknob. That is really mean. Okay, so
Sock
go by.
garden party cake. 463 yards.
And it's so squishy, you guys. Feel that. Put your hands up. Feel it.
Stock.
Do that.
75% merino,
Oh my
25% nylon. You're going to make me pee my pants. I got to go. Now stop.
You didn't wear a pull-up.
I didn't.
You know you have those in the bathroom. You should have.
I do not.
Mom's got some. Poor lady. All right, we're not going to talk about my mother. Okay, edit.
She's going to watch this. And she's going to be so... Oh, that was bad. You better get some brownie points. I'm going to do my best.
Now what do we do?
Sorry, Mom. You
I'm
said
sorry.
You're the one that did it, not me.
Well, is there an edit button?
I don't know how to
Okay.
trim. We're not that good yet.
Sorry, Mom. Okay, nobody knows.
We love her so much with all of our hearts. Here, I have a tissue.
Okay, now let's compose ourselves. Okay. Is everybody still with us, or have you already turned us off?
They're way gone. They're way gone. We lost them hours ago.
Hours ago. Oh, yeah, they've
Okay,
already
sorry.
gone grocery shopping.
It's past 35 minutes.
Okay, we're going to run out of words if we don't hurry
Okay.
up. Okay.
Oh, you're going to be in trouble. I don't know if
Okay,
they're going
we're
to have you back at their place.
Well,
then
tell
after
her we
that.
just never could upload it. Eventually, they're going to learn how to do that.
Oh, that's right. We don't have to tell them where it's at. We'll just forget to tell
No,
them
let's
all
not be
about it.
like really mean, because if they found it, then they'll be like, "We're gonna start from number episode 1."
Okay.
Okay, so what else did you get?
I got so much stuff, you
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Let me do this one next.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I gotta get ready.
Okay. You get ready. So, you know how Amy and I are, we're new designers, and I even said to her, I need to go out and I need to get myself a stitch pattern book. She said, go to the library or go to the bookstore. There's tons of them in there. Go get them. I said, okay, well, I went out and I got myself one, and I brought it home, and I showed her one time, and we've been looking at it. And so
I haven't been looking at it because I've been in California, but she's been looking through it.
No, I was talking about the book I bought myself before I got my gift. So
yes.
I'd been looking at it and all that. And then, Amy, when I opened up my present, look at what I got. I got another one.
And I said,
And I looked at it and I went, oh, okay. And she's like, what's the matter? And then...
That's the one she bought herself. And she brought it to my mom and dad. She said, here's your book. Because I wrote it in the front of her.
This one's very special because it's got a little special message in it.
She says, it's not the same because it's got a message from you in it. I said, oh my God.
Isn't that funny?
We got the same book.
Of all the books in Barnes & Noble.
And I almost bought 2 of these, one for her, one for me.
It's a good thing you didn't buy it.
Good thing.
So anyway.
So now I got to go back, because there was 2 in the running, because there was another one I really liked. But
you buy that
anyway,
one for me?
we had so much fun last night.
Yeah, she's like, well, what page is that
We're working on a new
What page
design
are you looking
together.
on? But this one's really pretty.
So anyway, let me show.
Yeah. And
Is it backwards?
You are so bad.
Sorry.
You are going to make me pee my pants. We're going to have to pause it because I do have to go.
Do we
But
need
look
to
at
take
all
a
that.
break?
It's got pictures.
Oh, it is so beautiful. It has a cable section. It has a colorwork section. It has a lacy section. It has just regular straight section.
Okay, so that's
Really
another
awesome.
birthday gift. And then, check this out, you guys. This was the first thing that I pulled out. This is, like, so exciting to me. Let me pull all these out. I don't know. You might have to hold some of them. Oh, they're coming up the camera. I was going to try and do a surprise, and I think I already ruined it.
I think you probably did.
Oh.
Okay.
Look at all those minis! Minis from Amy, and she also found some from my mom, and I'm
brought
just
some
so
from
excited.
home.
Let's put them forward.
We need to have it. That's sort of like a periscope. We did periscoping sisters.
You're
Being
goofy.
so
And then
good.
yesterday when we were at the store, I bought another pair of sock rockets.
I've never
40-inch.
used those, you guys.
These are 2.25 millimeter US ones, 40-inch sock rockets.
and then I had to buy some Malabrigo DK.
while we were there,
While
and
we
we
were
also
there.
bought some other secret presents that we haven't sent yet. So those
Yeah, we're doing
they'll
that.
be revealed someday.
We're doing a swap, so we had to
Yeah.
get some things.
And then check these out, you guys. These I think are probably my favorite.
This is my mom and dad's present for her birthday.
Look at those
Birkenstock.
Birkenstock Mary Janes. They have little
Roses.
They're not really showing up very good. Little roses on them. Aren't they cute?
Those are so adorable.
And this is a Velcro. And
like
we
old
posted a
people
picture
have.
of those, like old people.
They have Velcro because they can't tie their shoes anymore.
Quicks and fast slip-on. It's easy.
Oh my gosh, and
And
they're
my
so cute.
jeans come up to like right there, so you can see like my hand knit socks, little bit
Really
of
cute.
bitty bit of the socks that sticks out there.
Really cute. Very, very cute.
So that's my birthday.
Very cute.
Oh, and I also grab those things right there because we've got this for Valentine's Day from my dad.
He got us each a box of
Chocolate
covered
covered cherries with liqueur inside from C's. Which
my
is a
mother
famous
went
candy
through.
store
My
in San
mother
Diego.
went through and had to tell us how to eat the chocolate covered cherries. I said, "Why can't you
How
just?"
old are we?
I said to her, "I said, why can't you just put it in your mouth and eat it whole?" Shh, don't say anything, Dad. She says, "Well, you could do that," but I take a little bite.
Oh, she savors it. She only lets herself have
Like
one a week. I don't know how she does that.
And there's like a dozen in there.
mine
Debbie's
already
like, "This will last me 3 or 4 days."
4 days.
Not even-
one after each meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast. 4 days.
They're gonna have mold on them by the time she gets to the 12th week.
No, she keeps them in the fridge. They're fine. That's all right. You
my
go.
gosh.
You do it, Mom. You've got good
What
self-power.
would
do
she
you
have
call
done
that?
if we would have taken
Self-control.
one out of hers and she gone and said,
Oh, she probably would have had a fit with Dad. She would have said, "You took them like cherries." We would have got Dad in trouble. We don't want to do that.
"We don't want to get Dad in trouble." No, we don't want to get Dad in trouble. Not by her. Okay, so the last part of a lot of people's podcasts, especially those with Etsy stores, which we have an Etsy store. It's really Debbie's Etsy store, but
Because I've been busy. I've been busy.
so we're gonna call this section. What does Amy Beth say? Oh, the fat squirrel. We watch her too. She calls it shameless self-promotion. And does Laura have something she calls it?
I don't know.
Well, we're going to call it humble happenings. Because, I mean, honestly,
We just do this for fun, you
we
guys.
do
It's
this for
not a
fun. We
business
both
for
have
us. That's why
jobs. We just love the communication. We love our mission
the
statement
community
is sister love that
enables, inspires, and
encourage,
inspire, and enables.
So, I mean, we try to be humble about this. It's like, I mean, we're just like any other person, right? So, anyway, so we already talked about the Because I Love You wrap. That's gone. Knit Along's done. Prizes have been given out. And now we can focus on Debbie's first design, which comes out today, which doesn't come out.
It's
is
out.
It's called the Wendy Sky Shawl.
Yarns were dyed by Allie of Savvy Skeins, and this is the official Wendy Sky colorway. The name of the colorway itself is called Wendy Sky. She has multiple different yarns: pink, gold, lavender, and blue that can go with the Wendy Sky. And if
Let's
you
talk
go,
about what Wendy Sky means.
okay, I was going to say if you go to my pattern page, but if you tell the Wendy Sky story.
Okay, so when my
So
sister
wait, just before we do that, that's one, and then grab my other one. Where's
oh
it?
yeah, it's
Oh,
behind
here.
And where's
This is
mine?
one in a darker color way kind of option.
And this is the one I knitted.
She didn't follow pattern, but that's all right.
Never do.
She's got the idea. It just shows it in another set of colors. pretty.
Eric's looks gorgeous.
Yes.
And
So
Amelia...
let me put a shout out.
Okay, so we're going to
really
talk about
fast.
that. Well, let's talk about Wendy Sky and what that means real quick. Okay, so when my sister died, she had a 6-year-old little girl and a 14-month-old little boy. And my sister absolutely loved sunsets, sunrises, gorgeous skies, and we didn't really say anything much about it until her little girl started terming and coining these sunsets Wendy Sky. She'd say, look, a Wendy Sky, look, Daddy, there's a Wendy Sky. And so in our family forever in the last 14 years, every sunset, every gorgeous sky.
And friends of mine, I've told this story
we've
too.
called them Wendy Skies. So that was
And I'll
the
get a text out of the
inspiration.
blue with a picture attached from a girlfriend that says, look, there's a Wendy,
Wendy
Sky
Sky here,
today.
yeah.
It's so sweet. And I just have to say, Chelsea, your message to me on my birthday, it made the both of us almost
We're
just
crying.
crack out in tears. It was so heartfelt and so special, and I just want to say thank you so much for that wonderful message. So you guys can go on Chelsea's Instagram page to see. It's a beautiful picture of a sunset. She caught it just at the end of the sunset, and it was just gorgeous, and it touches my heart. So thank you,
And
Chelsea.
just like we've said before, you know, when you lose somebody who's very, very special, you know, the memories that you had, those are the memories you'll have forever. But there will not be any more new memories. And as time goes on, you hope their memory and who they were and what they did and what they stood for will continue to live on. And to have this pattern, the Wendy Sky shawl, and then other people starting to send us pictures that we've never met of these beautiful sunsets.
Tagging us on Instagram
and tagging
saying,
and
"Look,
saying,
it's
look
a
at
Wendy
Wendy
Sky."
Sky.
It's
Oh my
just like-
gosh, it's just like she lives on, even through people we've never met. It's just incredible. It's
And there's
so
a gal
incredible.
that I don't remember her name. I'll have to look up on the group, but she actually lost her sister as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she's knitting 3 separate shawls of my Wendy Sky shawl in 3 different colors. One for her grandma, and one for her aunt or her mom or
sweet.
something. Yeah, it's so sweet. So thank you so much. So I wanted to give a special shout out to my test knitters. You've been wonderful. I've loved seeing all the colors that you've picked and everything. And just wanted to say thank you so much for stepping up and helping me out, get the word out. We have Amelia, who so many people know on Instagram.
Emil Carve,
Emil
63.
Carve, 63. And her, she picked a gradient, beautiful gradient.
Oh, it was beautiful.
With a dark blue for the flower panel section. It's gorgeous. So thank you, Amelia. And we have Katka, who has a podcast. Her podcast is called Knitting with Katka. Thank you, Katka. She picked like a
Gold, right?
Pale yellow with lavender and
Green.
Yes.
Really pretty.
Really
My favorite
pretty.
colors.
And she used 3 colors. So if you want a 3 color,
She modified it too.
she did, but
You didn't yell at her?
No, I didn't. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yell at her just to make me feel
Okay,
better.
Katka, how dare you change my pattern like that and
You were a
add
test
another
knitter.
color
You
as a
should have
test?
followed the pattern.
Don't listen to her. I love that you made that change because it gives people an option to see what what it would look like with 3 colors and where you could place the colors. So that was very cool. And then we have Allie from Savvy Skeins.
You gotta love Allie.
I know.
Who doesn't love
the
Allie?
independent dyer who created the Wendy Sky colorway. And let me tell you, when she sent me pictures of what she had dyed,
I remember that
was just
day.
like,
We had like chills. We're like,
yes,
that
I
is
sent
it.
I sent it to Amy and I said, Amy, look at this color.
was awesome.
She
She
got
knew
it. She
exactly
got
what
it
we wanted.
exactly. I sent her a picture of a sunset that had the colors in it. And I told her not too much green, like don't put green dye. If it blends and makes a little bit of an aqua green, that's fine. But mostly the other colors, and it was perfect. So
perfect.
thank you, Allie. And her shawl is beautiful as
Yeah.
well. And her daughter Maddie is currently using the Wendy Sky color with the gold.
And she's knitting
And
it?
she's knitting
Her
it.
daughter
And
is?
yes, and it is
Oh,
beautiful.
that's
That
awesome.
gold is gorgeous.
That's great.
And then Eric of Sticks Plus Twine, he knitted up for his mother, and he was
Eric
so
is so
sweet.
fun.
He showed it on his podcast, and he said, "Man, these last rows are getting long. Let me tell you." And he actually used a crochet hook for some of the flower panel section because
so
he
he
was having
didn't
trouble.
follow the
No,
pattern
he
either?
did. He followed the pattern, but he had
Completely?
well, no, you're right. Maybe
Every
he has,
stripe?
No, his.
I don't think so.
But he's a little bit closer to the pattern than your.
I'm not comparing the two of us.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you're right.
But it's gorgeous.
Yes.
It's like a cranberry and a cream. Is that what it was?
It was a
sorta?
multi
Like a
lavender
speckled?
and speckled with the
Lavender?
cranberry. It was like
Oh.
a pink. Well, maybe it was more cream, and then the cranberry.
The cranberry.
color,
Oh my gosh,
beautiful.
so pretty.
And then Deanna, who has Eric has the Sticks Plus Twine podcast, and then Deanna has Skeins in School, and she hand dyed some yarn for hers. Hers was another beautiful gold, tonal
It was
gold,
really pretty.
with a maroon multicolor that had more of like sunset colors in it. That was really gorgeous. And then last but not least, Chris Kelly from U University.
We love Chris.
Knitters are the
She's
best,
awesome.
especially Christine Kelly.
She's very
Custom
smart.
made.
She has her own university.
Yes.
She's the president.
She's a very smart lady and a very generous lady, and I just want to thank you.
She's not a lady. She's a chick like us.
She's a doctor.
But she's just like us.
Yes, okay, so she's just like us. She's one of our sisters.
Yeah, we've already decided we're going to take her as one of our sisters.
Yeah.
We've got lots of sisters we need to.
So
Now
thank you so much.
Tell them about the university when she comes on and how to find her. and all
So
that.
she has a podcast called U University, and more recently
She
she's
has a Periscope.
Amy, she has a podcast too. Do not interrupt and go against your sister when she knows what she's talking about.
Okay, keep on talking.
More recently, she's been periscoping once a week on Sunday at 2 o'clock Mountain Central Time.
Yes.
So it's noon here, and it's 3 o'clock on
In Georgia time.
Eastern time. I don't know if she's periscoping tomorrow, Sunday, but I think she's going to take a week off.
And she downloads her Periscopes.
She downloads her Periscopes
YouTube.
onto YouTube, just the same as her YouTube channel, U University Live. Go check her out. And she's wonderful. She has project bags
so cool.
and just is the greatest person to do swaps with because she's so sweet and generous.
She's got a funny sense of humor. We just love her.
Yes, we do.
She's one of our sisters.
We love all of our test knitters. So I just want to say thank you guys so much again for test knitting for me, and I really appreciate you helping me share the story of the Wendy Sky.
So we expect a sunrise or a sunset picture from all of you
Tag
this week.
us, you
Just
guys.
saying.
Tag us. We love to see that.
Okay.
That's one of our missions, is to just get the word out, keep Wendy's legacy alive, and have it even if it becomes something special to you because it makes you think of your loved one that maybe is not with you anymore. That's really the goal.
Yeah.
Is to spread that love. So
Okay, so some more humble happenings. What's coming down the pike? I do have some test knitters working on my next project, which is the. Now I know you told me to do my ends, and no, I didn't follow directions. This is your Knit Your Home cowl, and as I've shown on my Periscope many times before, this is a way that the knitter can become the designer, because I get very bored a lot of times knitting patterns. That's why I modify them, even my own sister's pattern. Yes, I just said it out loud. But as we start, when we knit our home, we have hills. These are short rows. And then we decide what kind of fence we have. Do we have a privacy fence or do we have a split rail fence? So there's two options for the fence. The siding of the house, siding or brick. Two types of different doors. There's some color work here. Two different kinds of windows, whether you have a bunch of windows or not so many windows. And then everybody, I didn't bring any others, this is the third one. And this is, everybody does the same roof. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, the 4 sections in the middle. You have an option of which one to do.
that's so creative.
And then everybody does the hills. If you want, you can just not do them if you don't want to do short rows.
because the hills have
And then-
short rows, that may not be for
that may be a little
everybody.
scary. And then we have a roof. So this is a long, it's knit, for me, I knit it on size 1 needles, and there's some color work, and it's a lot of fun. You don't get bored. When you start
Andy's
getting
doing
bored,
it.
it's done. Andy, Under Sue Knits, she has shown hers on her podcast. She's knitting it. Alpaca Anna, who we talked about earlier, she is getting ready to start. And Connie, who dyed my yarn for my 3-color shawl, she's going to be knitting up. So I'm hoping that this one will be out probably April 1st, somewhere at the beginning of April.
Yeah.
So while that was done, I started designing another cowl. I really love cows, and I think cows and wraps are great, Debbie, because there's no sizing that has to go into it. There's
Yeah.
no. We're gonna have
It's
all
easy.
that.
It's a little bit easier for new.
Is that the garbage
newbie,
man?
Yeah, you can't hear that.
Yes, you can. Okay, never mind.
Newbie designers don't have to worry about sizing and making sure that the gauge
Yeah.
is exactly right. You
So
know,
it's kind of like cheating a little
designing
bit.
a cowl or a wrap or a
But
shawl.
anybody can do it. It's just very simple. So in Georgia, I know in California they don't wear a lot of worsted and
You can
know
hear that
air.
beeping. I'm sure you can.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
really sorry. The
And there's no
trash
way
man
we
is
can
here.
erase that.
No, that's okay.
Is your window
it's
open?
our first podcast. Yeah, but I'm not going to try and close it now.
Okay, so anyway, okay, so I designed another cowl. This is the Wendy's flower box cowl, and yep, you can hold
Can I
that up.
help?
Yeah, you can help that. It's that way.
Okay.
Go ahead, you can hold it up. And I did one in pink. Ready? Periscoping. I'm back. We're such doorknobs, aren't we?
You're the dork.
I'm not the dork. Okay, so.
Isn't that pretty?
This
It's
is
like a little box. And it's got like a little cute little twisty thing that goes up the side, and then you got the flower in the middle there.
It's like a
Wendy
twisted
loved
rib.
flowers.
And no lie, you guys, I can knit this up. I can knit this up
It's
in
in
like
worsted,
24
right?
hours. It's
I'm
in
gonna put it
worsted.
on. Even though it's hot.
It's cute, Deb.
Isn't that cute?
So this is like my sock go-to pattern. When I just and one
many have you knit
mindless
now?
I mean several.
How many?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4th one.
You had
And I have 2 more at home.
Yes.
Okay, so
6.
I knit this on the
that
plane.
so
You guys, okay, so I figured out how many hours when I was traveling. It's about 7 hours. And when I got off the plane, I was here and I just had to do the top. So literally a day or a weekend time, you can have this done. And this is Andre Sunit's, is the Dirty Rainbow, right?
Yeah.
Colorway, and it's not, and
yes.
it wasn't worsted. This is actually fingering. So it ended up working out pretty good.
That
And
was
this
the
is
leftovers
Madeline
that I had.
Tosh, which bled when I blocked it. Just
Did it
saying.
really?
Yeah, it did. But isn't that cool? That's a little harder to
Gosh,
see.
I don't know what's up with them.
So the yarns that I forgot to say, you guys, Savvy Skein's Allie, she makes these minis, and they're really not minis. We call them maxis because there's like 50 some yards to her minis. She's going to be helping with collaboration with the Knit Your Home Cal. Most of her minis I used in here. Really awesome. They're great. They're very, very soft. So, and this is the one I started. I just started it yesterday. Okay, so it's not. I mean, I can knit it like quick.
That's the gradient yarn.
This is Painted Sky, but you know, Dancing Dog Dye Works. Michelle is going to be collaborating with me. Her yarns are so soft and her colors are so beautiful. So she's going to be collaborating with me for the Wendy Flower Box Cal. I'm not really sure when we're going to roll it out. Probably May-ish sometime. And then Debbie and I have a very fun thing that really was Debbie's idea.
I have good ideas. She helps to bring some of the creativity to it, and then I keep her in line and make sure it can actually be knit because it's got to.
With much of arguing in between, just
No,
saying.
not a lot of arguing.
No, we don't.
You took my points for your because I love you wrap and incorporated those.
And the one nice thing about sisters and Jody and Tracy can, I'm sure, you don't mince words.
You know, say I don't really like that,
and she says that.
Yeah,
this morning she even did. But that's okay.
But you know what? If
but
it's
you have to love
together.
Yes, you have to love your pattern.
Have to be in love with it, right?
Yes, you can't say, "Oh God, I hate the stitch," but
I'm going to do it because she wanted it.
Why would we put a pattern out
and
with sections in it that we don't like?
Yeah.
Why would we do that? So Debbie and I are collaborating on a pattern design. It's going to be probably a crescent-shaped wrap.
Okay.
Because I don't do shells. They're for old people.
They're shraps.
They're shraps. So it's going to be, and we're going to roll it out in July, which is Wendy's birthday. We're still thinking about, we have some really exciting collaborations we might be doing with some yarn dyers, and we'll let you know once we get all those details squared away. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Your Etsy shop is empty. Way to go.
Yeah, well, some of your yarns are in there.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because my yarns have been in there since you opened it in September.
Maybe I should put it on vacation.
The shop or my yarns?
Well, what's the difference?
The yarn's already on vacation. Why would you put your shop on vacation?
Because I think maybe when you do that, then you don't get charged for a monthly charge or something. I don't know. I just need to look into it. It's such a small amount. I don't care. I might just leave it open. But I do have to do some more selling.
I got a good idea. Why don't you make more bags and put them in the shop?
You know what I'm trying to do is
because
I'm trying
to get
sell out. The thing that's keeping me from really getting into too much more sewing is I want to evaluate the interfacing that I'm using because of that interfacing scope that Chris did. I want to evaluate that. And I also am working on a design for a little label to be able to put Debbie Reese designs on my bag. Right now I don't have a label on my bag.
For like in the seam?
Yes,
like Laura does?
Like Laura does and like Halcyon yarn like Chris does. See, this is Chris's bag that she gave me.
I love her little
yeah, it says
house
yarn on the side and then it says on the back, I love this, it says have a sparkly day.
Let me see that. She says that.
She is a sparkly lady. Have a sparkly day. So I'm working
I love that. That's
cute. I'm working on that. So I'm trying to find a place that's kind of not local, but it's, you know, relatively local that I can have do the tags. Someone here in the U.S. I need to ask around other bag makers. Maybe Chris has a recommendation.
Yeah.
So that's what's keeping me from really doing too much sewing, because I want to. I have a couple other little sewing projects I'm doing for friends, and then I got to get that figured out before I can really get back into the bags.
So okay, so now what is going to happen? We're not really sure. We had planned this first podcast. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time. So now, well, it's not up yet. So maybe when it does get up, we can say we actually did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so with me being in Georgia and Debbie being in California, I mean, I wish I could come every week to do our podcast, but I can't. So what are we going to do?
So we're going to find the program that allows you to do split screen.
From Skype?
From Skype, I think it is. And if you go to Hohi Locatelli, you know, she started a podcast with her girlfriend, and they do it in Spanish. And I saw the last time they posted something on Instagram, it was a picture of them split screen. So I think they do that. And I know there's a way. We just have to, I've just got to get it figured out. And Sue and Chelsea are going to end up having to do that
when Chelsea
moves. So we're probably going to be ahead of you, Sue, and I'll walk you through it and help you figure it out. Well, it's not that complicated, though, from what I understand.
The heat is on because my backdrop doesn't look like this. So I'm going to have
She's going to have to put something pretty.
I'm definitely going to have to put my husband to work when he gets home from being on the road.
Up.
Yes, I need to have
the stash.
I need like a studio, like a recording studio with like my yarn.
You need light more than anything.
I know I do need light.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about that later. Okay, so we just had it was so great. I mean,
so much fun.
I don't know if anybody really actually wants to watch what we talked about, because we're just like everybody else that just gobbles about different things. But we have a little saying that we say at the end of our Periscope, and you can start.
If you can't be kind,
be quiet.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good week.